Hello and welcome back to Eura's interviews with its amazing members all over the world. I was just saying, this is Cynthia, Myrnes, relocation.no. I can't believe it's been nearly a year since we spoke. It doesn't seem like that. This has been the weirdest year in the world. On the one hand, it seems to have lasted forever. And on the other hand, it literally feels like a month ago that we spoke.
Yes, exactly.
How are you? It's good to see you.
Delete 2020.
I know. Exactly. It's true. How are you?
I'm doing well. We are doing well. We just completed our audit for ISO certification.
Great. All good. All went well?
All good. Passed with flying colors.
Great.
So very happy and proud of that as well.
Good. Fantastic. That's really good. And I mean, when we spoke, we were just saying before the recording, by all of the different standards, when we're now all looking back over the year and, and facing, and still a year later from when we spoke, an uncertain future, although things are looking a little brighter. Norway has done very well overall, right?
Yes, we have, at this point, we have 89,000 who are infected and 656 who have passed away. So the numbers are not as high as some other countries. So we do have, the Norwegian government does have pretty good control on the situation. But right now, we are at the start or in the middle of a third wave. And so tomorrow, from midnight tonight, the restrictions are going to get even stricter.
So that's I'm sorry to hear that. That's very sad. And obviously we're seeing, third waves across quite a few countries, and Germany's gone into more restrictions, France too. So when we spoke in April, you'd come out of restrictions, right? Did you have any other lockdowns between then and now?
Yes, we did. It was off and on. So we had a little bit of a lockdown after Christmas because that was when we had the second wave.
Right.
So after Christmas, a lot of people were traveling home. And then when they came back, that's when the second wave came and we had some restrictions then, and then they were lifted. And then now we are at the numbers, same numbers and record breaking numbers compared to last April. Yeah, so that's why the restrictions now are even.
And what do those restrictions look like?
So there's restrictions in how many people can visit you. So you have 2 guests. Schools are not closed, not yet, but the older students, so high school and university students, they have to have digital learning, but the younger children still go to school, but this might change, quite quickly as well. It's not possible to have large gatherings. So if you want to have gatherings, there's like a maximum of, 10 or 50 people, depending on the situation, whether it's indoors, outdoors, and how old the participants are. The Norwegian government has been has put a high focus on making sure that young people and children's interests have been preserved during this period, so that they don't lose the social contact, they don't lose the opportunity to interact with other people as well.
That's so key. I mean, it's so important. I was talking to one of our members who's an education specialist in Asia, and she was saying, the impact on children is just gigantic. I mean, just at the time when this all came in last year, I mean, one of the huge sort of global debates was how much screen time are children getting? And then suddenly, that's all they get.
Yeah.
That's so. But they're struggling to keep the schools open as much as possible. That's great to hear for the young kids, especially. That's really good.
Yes. Right.
And how about things like retail and like restaurants? Are they all closed?
Not all. So restaurants have kept open, and a lot of them have been doing a lot of takeaways.
Yeah. Okay.
But like, for example, from tomorrow, then there's going to be a ban on alcohol serving in restaurants.
Right.
Gyms are going to be partially closed, only for people that are living in the same county.
Okay.
Yes, some shopping malls have been closed. So in Norway, there are some local restrictions that are stricter than the national restrictions. So for example, in Oslo, where the numbers are higher, shops have closed, shopping malls have closed. Yes, only essential shops have been open. So it depends, because we have pockets of places where there's a high outbreak, and then we have pockets of places where there's almost
virtually nothing. Yeah. That's very interesting. And has that been kind of, because I know that was talking to Michelle Brunstoft in Denmark, and you can still travel to, your summer house, your holiday home. You can do that. Can people do that in Norway, or because of the differences in case numbers, they're asking you not to do that?
Yeah, they're not saying that you can't do that, but they're recommending that we shouldn't do that. We shouldn't travel to, cabins in other counties and
Sure.
and not to have guests in the cabins. And so, yeah.
That's so interesting. I mean, here again, I was talking to a colleague who lives in Cornwall, which is one of the UK's kind of most popular places for holidays and holiday homes. And at the beginning of this lockdown, they did say, you're not allowed to go to your holiday home. You have to stay in your primary residence. And, the police actually were going around these towns in Cornwall because they know who owns their holiday homes. If there's a car outside, they were fining you and sending you back.
Yeah.
It's quite strict, which is a bit of a worry. So listen, in terms of things like people coming into Norway and in terms of, your business and mobility, what's going on there?
Okay, so the borders, the Norwegian borders are closed at the moment. So only only Norwegian nationals can come in, and foreign nationals who are already resident in Norway can come in. And for all other foreign nationals, they can come in only if they are society critical or if they are business critical.
Okay.
Yes. So society critical would be like healthcare personnel, people who work in transport, people who work in the offshore industry where they are needed to keep things going. And then business critical would be specifically for each business if that particular person is deemed critical for the business, and that is an application process which the company has to apply for and get approved before these people can come in. So at this point, we have a lot of people, a lot of assignees that are just waiting for the borders to open. They have been closed since 29th of January.
Right.
And for now, it will be closed until the 7th of April, but I'm 99% sure it's going to be extended.
Yeah, for sure. And so tell me because obviously we were saying you had a post-Christmas lockdown when the second wave came. Between April, May, and then, what was mobility looking like for you?
Yes, so it was quite good because in May they started opening up for EU nationals, and then in July they started opening up for non-EU nationals. So between May and December, we had quite a normal flow of people coming in. And of course, everybody that came in had to undergo their 10-day quarantine before they could go to work. And that was fine. We were dealing with that. And in terms of work for us, our financial numbers were actually quite similar to 2019. So from May to December, the numbers were,
I'm so pleased to hear that, because I can imagine. I mean, when we all sat down for all of our businesses and did that planning back in March last year, we were kind of predicting this black hole of, what on earth is going to happen. So that's really good news. I'm really pleased. That's great. And so in terms of things then, like the big critical questions, what's happening with the vaccines in Norway?
Well, the vaccines are ongoing.
Okay, great.
Yes. So, but the general impression is that it seems to be going quite slowly. And I think right now they're still vaccinating people in the 80 to 90 age group.
The very
and
vulnerable.
Of course, the health personnel.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And we were saying before the call that there's been a few scares about the AstraZeneca in Norway, right?
Yes, there were some articles about, 2 people dying after getting the AstraZeneca vaccine. But then again, they don't know for sure if they are related, because they could have gotten the bleeding and the blood clots.
Yeah, exactly.
No matter, even without the vaccine. So,
I mean, certainly I think what's going to be very interesting going forward is, because the vaccine program in the UK has been so big, there will be data coming, which will, I hope, be better to reassure everybody. But it's so now, are you on the same sort of program as most countries? You've got the tiers, the most vulnerable people, healthcare workers. Yeah,
correct. Yeah, we have the same as well. Yeah. So I myself, based on my age group, I'm like 3 millionth in line.
Okay. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. It is. It's interesting. And so, tell me how. I mean, you're just about to go into another lockdown. That must be pretty disappointing for people.
Yes, it is. People are tired, frustrated, and it's this back and forth as well. We have restrictions, and then they're lifted, and then we get restrictions again. So it's been going on for over a year now. So people, and understandably, are very tired of this, and people are frustrated. We have assignees with permits that have been granted, but then they're not allowed to come in. And then they're stuck as well, because, you know, for example, they've quit their job in their home country, and they thought that they could come in to Norway and start work here, and then now they're waiting for 2-3 months. They don't have income for this period of time. So that's an issue. Another issue that we see also is that people who have moved to Norway on their own, so who are singles, they are having some of them are having a hard time adjusting as well, because they're not able to meet other people who are still working from home. They don't meet colleagues. They're meeting people through Teams. They don't meet people socially as well. So, and they can't travel back to visit their families, you know, partners. Not all partners can come, and it's been quite tough.
I mean, again, it's something that I've talked to a lot of people about. You know, that sense of isolation that we've all been through is difficult enough when you're at home with your own family, you know, but finding yourself in a new country on your own, working from a small apartment, not being able to socialize, it's the mental health implications of that are not good.
No, not at all. And we have several associations and societies here which organize events for foreigners, but still they can't organize physical events, right? So a lot of this are digital, and digital events are great, but sometimes, you know, people just want that face-to-face and human touch, right?
Completely. I mean, I can't, you know, I have not hugged anybody from outside my own household. So that's basically 2 other people, my mother-in-law and my husband, since last February, you know, and you just, I mean, again, you just think, you know, this is, it's just so extraordinary. I mean, there is light, there are vaccines coming, and, you know, that will have a big impact. I mean, the numbers that came out of Israel were very interesting to see, that, you know, transmission suddenly stopped, and, you know, but in the meantime, as you say, we got a little taste of freedom, you know, last summer in September, October, and then we're back into lockdown, and then, you know, now, you know, here we are again. I mean, we're in lockdown until in the UK until I think the first deadline is the 8th of April, when you'll be able to meet up to 6 people outside.
Okay, yeah.
The first one. And I'm guessing that the same thing's happening in Norway. Are they giving you like the sort of milestones coming up, or are they just saying just bear with for a while?
For now they're saying that there is light at the end of the tunnel, but the last section, the last part, is an uphill climb. So we just have to get through this, and then hopefully in May or June things will be better, and more people will be vaccinated. So that's what we're holding on to, the hope that things will actually be better.
Yeah, absolutely. And the same, I think the same for the whole world. It's there's that great saying, it's always darkest just before the dawn.
Yes.
So let's hope the dawn is coming.
Yes.
Let's not leave it a year. Let's catch up in the summer. Let's catch up like July time. I'm going to put a date in the diary with you, because it's great to see you. And I just hope so much that, you know, over a year of talking to our members all over the world, and all of us talking to each other and communicating, I think probably if somebody had said, if we had had this conversation last year and we'd said, do you know what, next April, we'll still be in lockdown, I think we'd have gone mad.
Yes.
Again. It's amazing what we can actually handle when we have to.
Oh, yes, when we're forced to. But I also wanted to say one thing. Euro actually made the MIM and MIM Plus and program free for members, and that was really, really great.
Thank you for saying that. I mean, it was the least we could do. And, you know, in a way, the way that timing works, you know, we had that program online just in 2019. So the timing was great that we were able to go here. And I mean, the take-up's been fantastic. People have really appreciated doing it. It's kept people engaged. And that's, you know, what else can we do? That's what we wanted to do as much as we could. So thank you for saying that. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
You're so welcome. You're so welcome. Listen, July, and let's hope by July,
fingers crossed,
out in the sunshine,
yes,
being able to go and have a coffee in a cafe. Until then, it's lovely to see you. Stay well and stay safe, and you know, be strong through the next few weeks.
Thank you, Dom. Likewise.
Lovely to see you. Bye, Cynthia.
Bye-bye.